Hello again. It's Tuesday, July 11th, 2017. It says it's 7:25 p.m. Eastern Daylight Savings Time in the mountains of Virginia in the United States. If anyone from somewhere else might watch, which I doubt. But for showing this deck, I wanted to use a piece of black obsidian, which is one of my, I think it's a cool, I wouldn't call it a crystal, but it is crystal in a way. It always makes this, I took archaeology in the first college I went to, several classes as electives, I guess you would call them. But in one of them, we spent a lot of time learning how to flint knap, even though they just called it napping because it's not always involving flint. And I did several what they call projectile points. A lot of people call them arrowheads, but they're not always attached to arrows. They can be attached to a spear or in other things like an addle you can use to throw some stick with a point attached to it. So it's not strictly an arrowhead kind of thing. But this is a nice dark black piece. And you can kind of see what they called a bulb of percussion right there, where you would have made an edge and then you strike it with a much harder rock. And it always comes off in this heart, almost heart shape. That's probably a bad description of it, but it has that shape. You can kind of see it there. There's a point and it goes around and then back in again. So it has, like that kind of. But anyway, that's in my mortar here. Heavy piece of rock. So let's get those out of the way and then get to this. This is something called and I'm probably not going to pronounce it correctly, but it looks like it's Dame Fortune's Wheel Tarot by Paul Hewson. I believe I have one of his books somewhere. I believe. But this is a low scarabeo deck artwork by Paul Hewson. And for some reason, I do use this, and I don't know why. I'm not particularly drawn to it. I like the art, the color, and the feel of the cards for some reason. I don't understand it, but I do use it. And where's that card that throws me off? I can't find it. Fortitude, which is fine, but a little different. For some reason, there's a significator card in there. That's a little different too. Put that right there. But a tuck box, if I didn't show that. It's a sturdy one. It's okay, as tuck boxes go. There's one extra card in there. Multiple languages, of course, because it's Lo Scarabeo. I think it's always English, Italian, Spanish, French, Dutch, I think. Could be wrong. Yep, that's what the backs look like. That's nice. The world's smallest little book. And the English part is little. I can kind of read the French part, but not that well. Not well enough to read it out loud. And so these are the trumps, the major arcana. And I'll flip through the Ace of Batons, that's called here. I just like the feel, and the color isn't exactly glossy and bright. If that shows up, there's some kind of coating that's dulling it a little bit, which is fine. I like the feel of them. I do use these, and I know I've used these for several other people, but not, professional like. I didn't charge them money, put it that way. If I pause, it's because I'm either remembering a prior reading like that, or I see something that catches my eye. Ace of Swords. I mean the swords. I think I'm holding these steady enough, even though my arms are getting tired. Okay, specifically my shoulders. Knave of Swords. This is nice. The Ace of Cups. I love this color. I don't even know how to classify it. I know I've drawn these several times on two types of cards. I drew them on the small ones, like these. I did not reproduce the back. I mean, I like backs, but I'm not into back, especially if I'm doing my own cards. I reproduced them on this smaller size without the wording. Just stretched the image to fit this, or shrunk it, I guess I should say. Ugh. There's a post-it note in the way there. Let's compare it to the standard, US Games cards that you get. How about that? It's not quite as tall. I mean, that's not enough to fuss over, but it's definitely not as wide. I guess I never really paid any attention to that before. That's interesting. But I had Dickens at the time trying to reproduce that color. I don't know why. It seems very doable, right? But I love that color. That's a nice color. I don't even know what you would call it. And it kind of echoes through here. That's just great. I wouldn't associate it with water necessarily, but it's a great color. The cups were probably my favorite thing in this one, in terms of art. So there's that. And let's look at, what do they call the coins? They're pretty happy right there with 2 coins. Just gotta get really happy by the time we get to 10 coins then. 5 coins. 6 coins has a goose in it. Looks like he's giving a reading. And that'll be 7 coins, ma'am. I can't tell what he's gonna whack. He's gonna whack something with that hammer. She's gonna give him a bag of coins. Wow. Perspective's a little wacky there, but that's okay. Gotta fit it on a card, right? Okay, looks like he could walk either direction. He's almost like a more typical fool. Impressive. Let's turn the smoothest significator over here. Then I can show the backs of the cards right here. And then I can put, death cards, you're always getting in the way. What's with you? Then I gotta put something on top of you. This time I'll put it over here on the hangman. And we don't care about that card too much, do we? No. And we'll put the little white book, which strangely looks, is it readable this direction? Kinda, that's weird. I did not get it in 2007, then it says 2008, 2007. I did not get it that long ago. But I'll make you, demote you. But there's the Dame Fortune's Wheel Tarot by Paul Husson. I guess he gets the credit as the artist anyway. I'll let that go for a little bit so I can capture it. Then I'll say peace.